Hello everyone, I'm Lucy of Lucy Lacoste Gallery in Concord, Massachusetts. The gallery was formed 30 years ago and evolved many times during the years, and this is our third iteration of the gallery. So it's my great pleasure to be here with you today to talk about Warren MacKenzie and our current exhibition, Warren MacKenzie, Pattern and Line. This show opens today, May 9th, and will continue through May 30th. The exhibition is an edited showing of some of our very best pieces from the vaults. Many from Warren's high years, some from his very latest years. The topic is Pattern and Line, and that I chose because it really is inspired by the Platters under which I'm sitting, and his minimal and successful decoration of them. As a painter and decorator himself, he always said he was not, though I firmly disagree, and I think these Platters are evidence of that. Warren was, did start out being, by the way, trained as a painter at the Art Institute of Chicago. And after the war, when he came back and all the painting classes were filled, he was thrown into ceramics, which was a pivotal sea change for him and led him on his life course of being a ceramic maker, and also introduced him to his wife, Alex. So together they formed a bond. They studied ceramics at the Field Institute. They apprenticed to Bernard Leach. They came back to Minnesota, and Warren built a studio there, became a professor, ultimately the chairman of the department at the University of Minnesota, and never left Stillwater, where he made his home. So today, it's my great pleasure to especially talk to you about the show through the Platters. Warren had several areas of interest, several influences. He was inspired, of course, by British ceramics and Bernard Leach. Especially important to him were pots that were freely made and made to be used. He was the artist, he was most inspired by Hamada from Japan. That was the artist who, in his soul, I think he reverberated with the best. You see in some of this work his abstract expressionist roots, and you see also his interest in elemental African art and ceramics. So let me just run through these with you. Okay, so the first platter we're showing you today is Chino with iron stamps. These iron marks were made by using cardboard dipped in iron oxide and are the most minimal. It's a pattern you do see over and over a number of times in Warren's repertoire, which is true for all of these, yet each was made individually and uniquely and has its own expression. The second platter with the decorative concept of the pores is evidenced by this Tumoku with white pores. Again, very, very minimal, simply done, and brilliant. The third platter here is an interesting one because it shows how Warren liked to use the children's tractor toy to make the marks. For this piece, he also used it on a number of his drop rims and so forth. This beautiful platter, quite amazing, is one that we got from a personal collection that was formed in the 1990s. It relates directly to Hamada, I think, in inspiration. A beautiful iron pores on the matte oatmeal glaze, a beautiful form. Now I'd like to talk about this grouping, the Chino with finger wipes. And I think the three together are so beautiful and masterful. And I have to thank my assistant Zoe, who discovered this and put them together for some of our Facebook posts. And I liked it so much that I decided to recreate it here on the walls. So the thing about the Platters that we love are the artist's own finger wiping or marking through the very thick Chino glaze. And what I personally love about it is it's like having the artist here. I mean, you really feel his soul in the handprints. This is my most favorite pieces, a very tall vase with ears, which I think harkens back to Warren's mid-century modern roots. The surface is enriched by marks again, similar to the child's tractor toy, but I think different. Warren collected over 40 tools as he traveled around the world, and this is one of them. So again, Chino, he used a lot of Chino, and I've always liked Chino, going from red to white, and then here you see the carbon trapping. So this is a very, very good piece. Mint condition, one of the most special ones we have. The one next to it on its, is it the left? Is that what we're saying, Zoe? Okay. Is similar. Maybe it came from the same time period, or the same firing. It's a little more humble, but it has, again, the beautiful markings on the tall cylinder and the Chino that goes from red to white. So now we're going to walk back. This is a beautiful splatter painted piece from his later years, as well as this blue bowl. Everybody loves his blue, and the blue again has the child's tractor marks on it. Come back to that one. This one I just have to comment on because I just found it yesterday. It was still wrapped up. It's from 2014, based on the newspaper that was found in it, and the plastic had one of Warren's original really low prices from that era. But it's a most impeccable, beautiful fluted Tuoku bowl, which I hope you enjoy looking at. This brings me over here to this unusual piece that I like to call the flying saucer, and it is unique. It shows Warren's great range of experimentation. That's what I like about it. It's made by taking a bowl and another bowl and putting them together. It'd be perfect with a frog in here to put flowers. And again, following the theme of the show, it has the pores, the yellow pores on the gray. This is an important piece to the exhibition. It was one of the two that inspired the show. It's a very large platter, and again, it's abstractly and minimally glazed with the pores, the yellow and the brown. So, I mean, this gives me a good chance to say something about Warren, and that is his whole idea was to reduce what he was doing to the most minimal. And so that's the hardest kind of concept to hit. You're not overcompensating with surface decoration or anything like that, or something really clever. But when you do hit it, it's brilliant. This piece I adore. Shows very much African roots. It's made, again, with a kind of stamping, like some kind of rubber stamp or whatever kind of foam stamp that he rocked on the piece over the Chino. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. It is my great pleasure to be here with my old friend Warren MacKenzie. I'd like to invite you to visit our website to look at the pieces more closely, and then to let us know if you have any questions at all or you'd like to purchase a piece. We look forward to talking to you soon.